This is the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Chickies and Pete's, Allstate Fairless Hills Tom LaCroix, Penworth Financial Services, Penn Community Bank, Capital Grill, Ventura. Now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Groats and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And here we are at Chickies and Pete's in the great Northeast. Great to be with you tonight, and what a week this has been. We have a great guest. Bob Groats is under the weather tonight. We have Garry Cobb with us, who is not only a great football player, but Garry is a great broadcaster and has worked many years as a broadcaster in this area at WIP, at KYW Television, and there's a guest on this show probably more times than Bob Groats. But Garry, when we need a guest, and we need a good guest, we call the number of Garry Cobb, and you've always been gracious enough to accommodate us. It's great to see you.
Well, it's great to be here. It's an exciting time. I mean, there's some exciting times. You can't go anywhere in this area without people coming up behind me and everything, you know, and they're excited about the Eagles. This is an exciting time of year.
It's an amazing team.
Yeah.
10-1. Would you have thought that they would be 10-1 at this point?
Well, you know, no, I wouldn't, because, you know, they haven't been perfect. You know, they've had some times when they've struggled in different areas, but every game these guys find a way to win, you know, because they don't panic. You see the look of the team. They got the confidence. With everybody's, you know, people are going crazy up in the stands, and, you know, guys were talking like the last game. You know, we were talking at halftime, and all the guys were going, man, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. Well, they find a way, and they got a very, very they got some quality leaders on the football team. That's really stands out.
You know, I've been here a long time, as you know. I've been broadcasting these games for 108 years.
That's right.
But you go back.
I thought it was 120.
It might have been. After 100, they all seem to run together.
Okay.
But, you know, the funny thing is, Garry, that I've been around some awfully good teams. I've been through 4 different Super Bowl teams, including Doug's team that won it in 2000, technically 18 after the 17 season.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams.
Yeah.
But the thing that I look at with this team, I can't remember any of those teams being as resilient. The word is resilient as this team that keeps bouncing back.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last 2 weeks, they overcame a 10-point deficit in Kansas City and twice 10-point deficits this past weekend against the Bills.
It's amazing because they just don't even seem to. You don't even see any rattling. You know, if you look at the way they kind of carry themselves, there's a confidence where they feel like they're going to come back and they're going to find a way to win, and they've done it in so many different ways. I look at a team. They've won with their defense against the run. They've won with their defense against the pass. They've won with their running game. They've won with their passing game. They've won with the quarterback scrambling. They've won so many different ways that you just take your head off, and it really has got to make people scratch their head, the opponents, because these guys find a way to win week after week.
Garry, how about this past Sunday? Did you honestly believe they were going to come back?
No, I did not think they were going to win the game. It had gotten so bad to where, after the first half, you look up and they haven't even thrown for 50 yards. And you going like,
I think it was about 7 yards at one point.
Yeah, I mean, it was so bad. You're going like, there's no way they're going to win this game. I mean, look at the way, you know, Buffalo's playing, and Buffalo's got to have this game. So
yeah, they're desperate.
I'm going like, nah, man, I don't think they're coming back. Look at it, you know, they just don't look like they've got it today. There's no way. And I said, well, you know, they could lose this game, they'll still be all right, you know. And they found a way to come back, especially with all the things they had to battle. I mean, to hit a 59-yard field goal in that weather.
In that weather.
I mean, and with the wind blowing against them, and I mean, that's just amazing. But he's an amazing kicker. You know, so you look back and you go, because somebody would say, man, there's no way. You start thinking about the way this team has been, and with the fact that they've had somebody step up. like with AJ didn't do much. You got Devontae there. He is a number one receiver. Just about every team in the league, he would be a number one receiver.
Oh, yeah.
So, you realize and you step back and, they haven't had Dallas Goedert. He didn't play.
They didn't have Lane Johnson.
And they didn't have Lane Johnson. You're right. And, those are all really – those guys are all pro-level players, And
yeah.
So they were missing all those guys. It's just amazing the way this team can find ways to win and the fact that they have a type of a toughness about them that they expect to win.
We had the coordinators today down at the NovaCare Center. That means we get to talk to Sean Desai, the defensive coordinator, Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, and Michael Clay, the special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
And somebody asked Brian Johnson how Jalen Hurts is able to bring this team back from behind so often. And, for years they used to ask about Donovan McNabb because he didn't have situations where he brought them back at the last second. There weren't that many situations he was in.
Yeah.
And they say, to really be a great quarterback, you've got to prove that you can bring them back from behind.
Yeah.
There are quarterbacks like Dan Marino who did that all the time. And I think Tom Brady did it a million times.
That's right.
With the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Brian Johnson said it's because of his confidence. He said he has so much confidence in himself that he just doesn't believe he can ever lose. And he just believes there's no situation at any time in a game that he can't overcome.
I tell you, it's contagious too, that confidence. And I think the guys look at him and they go, you know what? Doggone it, we're going to find a way to do it. And I think they have that type of confidence in him, especially when I hear a guy like, Jason Kelsey talking about him in that kind of way, is that they look at him and they get a confidence to feel like, he's going to, if we just do our jobs, he's going to make a play and we're going to win this game. And, I mean, they're making a habit out of it. I mean, to come back and win that game, especially with as much as Buffalo needed that game and the way their quarterback played.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Allen's a great quarterback.
He played well. He is.
He's a great talent. He went out there, did everything he could, and it looked like they had that locked down, and the Eagles come back and win the thing.
Well, what did you think on one of those late drives, because he had gashed them plenty of times with his legs?
That's right.
When he takes off around the corner, and who runs him down but 340-pound Davis?
Yeah,
Jordan Davis ran him down and cut out the corner.
That's right, and basically got over there and collapsed just about doing it. But Jordan really has been a great story because when he came here in his first year, he really wasn't in the best of shape. But you see that they're pushing him. And just from a lot of things he's getting as motivation. One of them is his former teammate there,
Jalen Carter.
Yes, Jalen Carter. They're pushing him because when they drafted Jalen Carter and you hear all of that noise, I knew it was going to motivate him. Because when you're hearing about somebody else all the time and people are asking you about Jalen Carter and everything. Jordan Davis got tired of hearing. God, enough with the Jalen Carter stuff. But he's pushed him. I mean, and I think this the whole situation, he's in better shape, and I think his ceiling is down the road, meaning he's going to get better and better.
And so is Jalen Carter.
I think so. I think that both of those guys, you're going to see some elite play from them for years.
I believe that.
Because I think they're pushing each other, and just to hear them talking to each other after the game and everything, you see how young they are. You think, you expect things out of guys, and you realize you had to stand back and see, these guys are babies, basically. They're 22, 23 years old, and they're still learning the game, and their ceiling is a ways away. They're going to really be some trouble for a lot of teams, those guys in the middle, because they can do a great job pass rushing and playing against the run.
All right, well, let me say something else. You use the term ceiling.
Yeah. I
don't think Jalen Hurts has hit his ceiling yet by any means.
I agree.
And he's already an elite quarterback.
I agree. Especially you see the fact that he can get off to a struggling start and not just fall apart. Now, most quarterbacks, if they don't have it one day, they never get it that day. They just struggle through the whole game. He has that kind of composure where he's able to start off slow and somewhere during the game he gets a hold of it, and he starts putting on a show. And now that throw he made to
Alameda Zacchaeus.
And that was a tremendous throw because
he goes as far as he could to his left.
That's right, to his left.
They used to say he can't throw when he goes to his left.
Yeah, that's right.
Nonsense.
That's right. And he made the throw, and the thing about it is he made the throw, it was perfect placement.
Yeah.
And the big thing was, it was the mental part of it, where he threw it because, see, the defensive back had his back to him. So he doesn't know where the ball is, and he let it go right up there, and Zacchaeus went up and got it. And that right there, that's the type of championship type of qualities that you see making a play like that, where you believe in a guy. Now, a lot of people wouldn't have thrown that ball to Zacchaeus.
No.
They were saying, well, how many balls has he come down with? He's not a big receiver, but he gave him a shot, and the kid made the play for him,
Well, he did the same thing with Devontae Smith in the end zone.
That's right.
There were two defensive backs emerging, coming right towards him, and Jalen flat out threaded the needle.
Yeah.
And there's a picture in the paper of Devontae Smith going up for that ball. Yeah. I swear his legs were 10 feet off the ground.
He can jump. He can jump. I mean, he's definitely an athlete, and as I said, he's got the ability to be a number one receiver, and he would be if A.J. Brown weren't here, because he can take over a game. He can make all the plays. And the thing about Devontae is he looks so thin and everything.
Yeah.
Kid is strong.
Oh, yeah.
He's strong, and you can see where he goes up and catches balls in crowds where you figure a guy that type of build wouldn't be able to do it. But he's able to get it done.
I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Uh-huh.
I think this Sunday when San Francisco is here,
they're
going to pay so much attention to Devontae that A.J. Smith runs wild.
Yeah, no, he may. I mean, A.J. may.
Because he's been relatively quiet.
Yeah, he has. The last two games, he's been quiet, but you can see in his eyes he wants that ball.
Yeah.
And on Sunday there were a number of times he was open, but a number of times when he came open, Jalen was being flushed to the other side. So I know it was probably frustrating on his part, a guy that's used to getting the ball. Believe me, he's sitting over there in his locker.
Yeah.
If he makes one catch, he's not a happy camper.
No, he's not. and that's good, because that's what you want wide receivers to be like.
He's got that fuel. He's a guy that wants the ball. He wants to be able to make a contribution, and I think he's going to get his chance this week. And this is a good week to have him riled up. It's probably not a bad thing. He comes in a little mad, because they need him this week.
All right, Garry Cobb is our guest, but we have another surprise guest coming in a little bit later. Sidney Brown is expected here around 6:20 or so we'll welcome Sidney. Right now we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Garry Cobb on Pro Football Report at Chickies and Pete's in the Great Northeast.
Come on, let's turkey try.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. The tradition continues. Thanksgiving Eve, it's the Turkey Trot, only at Chickie and Pete's on Packer Avenue in South Philly. Wednesday, November 22nd, starting at 7 p.m. with the sensational Soul Cruisers and this year's host, Mr. Saturday Night himself, Bob Pantano. We're going to be dancing the night away as we welcome in the holiday season at our annual Turkey Trot at Chickies and Pete's. Wednesday night, November 22nd in South Philadelphia, only at Chickies and Pete's.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs. A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitalgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capital Grill, Center City.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Groats, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are, Chickies and Pete's in the Great Northeast. Great to be with you, Merrill Reese, Garry Cobb, and we have a very, very special guest with us. You know, the Eagles drafted him in the 3rd round out of the University of Illinois, and I know he had a fine career with the Fighting Illini, and I got to meet him for the first time when he came in the auditorium after being drafted, and with a lot of the rookies, you took some questions from the media, and I said, here is a guy with a real wonderful ability to communicate. He had a spark, and then I watched him day in and day out on the practice field during training camp, and I said, you know what? And I know we're not putting him in Canton, Ohio quite yet, but I said to myself, he reminds me of a young Brian Dawkins, when Brian Dawkins first came here from Clemson, because he plays with a passion.
Yes.
He plays with a feeling of power, and he plays with a joy of the game. And that person is Sidney Brown. And Sidney, we are delighted that you can join us tonight here at Chickies and Pete's in the Northeast.
Oh man, I'm grateful. Thank you for having me on.
It's great to have you here. You had a great career in Illinois.
I mean, that was the best time of my life. I mean, to be there with my brother and then obviously do what we did in a short period of time, it was amazing.
You know, it's amazing to hear your story, that you were born in Canada and had a tough upbringing with a lot of moving around and trying to find yourselves and have some comfort. Had to be very, very tough going through what you went through as a young boy.
I mean, it was tough, but it was nothing but motivation. It just pushed us to be better and, you know, push for a better life for our family. And, you know, I mean, we never doubted on what our past was, and it was just about what we could do in the future.
You know, I see the way that you play the game. I mean, is that something that you got from somebody? I mean, the effort, the drive, the push, all of that. It just seems like you just get into playing every play hard. I mean, where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I mean, there's no formula to it. It's just the pure want to. The love for the game is really what it is. I mean, I think the one thing I can drive it to as well is I'm obsessed with result. I say that day in and day out. It's just seeing that result in myself on and off the field is big time. But it's nothing but want to and willingness to when it comes down to playing on the gridiron.
And then you went to a high school in Florida. How did that come about?
I mean, it was just an opportunity that popped up when we were in Canada. You know, my mom, unfortunately, in the moment, lost her place due to some health issues. But we had a family out down south in Bradenton, Florida, that opened up and said, hey, they're empty nesters. They had 2 rooms for my brother and I. It just worked out being perfect. And, you know, the fact that they took us in and gave us the resources and kind of showed us a new horizon of what success really is, it changed our lives for the better. And, I mean, listen, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. So I do not know what I'd be doing right now if it wasn't for them.
You know, I know it would be something productive, and I know it would be something that you would take success to, because you're just that kind of person. I mean, you're a guy who has a real dedication and a drive to be something above the ordinary.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just I mean, that means a lot. You say that, but again, it's just a drive. I want to be the best at what I do, and you know what? Growing up, having my brother on my side, it just made that so much easier because we were always competing against each other. You know, if he does something, I'm going to do it better. And just that relationship that we shared with one another, it just drove us to where we are now. Yeah.
You're twins.
He plays for Cincinnati. If you guys don't know.
Yeah, I know. He was a 5th round draft choice of the Bengals.
Yeah. Big time.
How's he doing?
He's doing well. He was on IR for a little bit, but he was out there playing against the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
I watched him for a little bit before he played. Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
So you know, I have an older brother, a younger brother, and everything. So I kind of had some of that competition too, even though my older brother put his foot in my butt. But anyway, but that brother, the drive and everything. I mean, what comes out of you when you do see your brother, when you see him and stuff? You talk about the competition and everything. What is that? I mean, what does that feel like? The drive and the compete with him and everything.
Yeah, I mean, when he does something, I mean, like you and your brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you're excited for him, but at the same time, you're a little ticked off because you want to do it. You want to do it better, if not, figure out a way to do what he's doing. You know what I mean? So that was just that's just kind of how I feel on the inside when I watch him do something. I want nothing but the best for him, but best bet that I'm gonna try and outdo him in any way I can.
I would guess that in high school you played different positions.
Yeah, I mean we were growing up. I was a running back.
Yeah,
and then he was the DB.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then I took a summer off. I mean, I was slacking. And then he took the running back spot, and then I was receiver, DB, running back, whatever you want to call it. Growing up until I kind of settled in high school and started playing safety.
And then you were recruited to Illinois as a safety.
I was a 0 star until I commuted to Illinois. I mean, I think I was a 3-star after that, but I basically had 0 offers until Illinois offered me.
Really?
Yeah, I had nothing. But I mean, it was just, it came at the right time. It was the perfect opportunity, and I wouldn't want to change it for anything.
When did the light go on? When did you achieve the kind of proficiency at Illinois where you said to yourself, you know something? I can make some money playing on Sundays or on Thursday nights or Monday nights or whenever. Right. We used to say playing on Sundays.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it was always in the vision. I mean, playing in the NFL was always in the vision. I never kind of drove off of that path. But, I mean, I think where it really started coming to light was when Brett Bielema came in and kind of changed that program around. I mean, we were a program that was, winning 3 to 4 games a year. We were doing nothing. And Brett Bielema came in, we instantly won 5, and then our last year we ended up winning 8 games. So, when you're winning, and it didn't really come to my mind that I was playing that well, or the defense was doing what we were doing. But when you're having fun doing it, you don't notice it. You're just playing. You're just out there balling and having fun with your guys. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we had the most guys come out of Illinois in the last 2 years than I think any time in the past. So, I mean, we had obviously Devin Witherspoon in the first, and then Quan Martin in the second, then myself in the third to the Eagles. So, just big time. That's when it came into the picture. It was my last year there, and just kind of opened up that vision to be, kind of open with this new success that I could chase and passion for the NFL.
Now, do you you started playing safety or playing defensive back. Did you model yourself after anybody? Is there anybody that you see qualities that maybe you said, I like like the way the guy does this, or this guy does that, or anything like that? Did you have any of that in your game, or what?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was big on my bad. Growing up, I was big on watching like older guys, like the Bob Sanders, the Troy Polamalu, honestly the Dawkins of the world.
You remember watching
hitters, the effort, that's what I loved. I loved that the passion that they shared for the game. And it's just growing up, I used to watch the YouTube videos on them. I mean, I didn't really watch football. I didn't watch NFL football, but I mean, I remember watching all these videos of them on YouTube and stuff, and that's just kind of how I thought the position should be played, is how those guys play.
Did you guys play any other sports?
We were track runners.
You ran track,
runners,
huh?
Yeah. No, we didn't play basketball. I can't shoot for my life. So.
But I see, you guys got that combination of, you got some of that size, and with the ability to run and stuff. So it's kind of you both of you getting after each other, man. That's
no,
good stuff.
We were lucky. I mean, I got the best of him. I'll tell you that.
You know,
that.
you talk about watching Doc. So you did watch Brian Dawkins.
I've seen his highlight tapes for sure.
Have you met him?
I've never met him, but
No.
I mean, you know what? There's one thing that stuck with me, and it was him explaining how he would strip the ball out by jumping on the other side of his shoulder, then ripping down on the ball. It was this video that I saw.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
You've seen that one, and just how. I mean, that takes a next level thinking and next level experience. You know? And that really just is a testament to how special he was as a player.
Well, you'll meet him because he comes around the facility. He'll come to practice. He'll come to. I'm surprised he wasn't at camp. But he's good friends with Gary and me, and he's a great guy. Just a great guy. But the one thing I have to tell you, and I think Gary will agree with this, is you cannot watch the three of them. I mean, you cannot watch Doc, you cannot watch Palomalo, and you cannot watch Ed Reed and say, I want to play like they play, because today, Gary, they'd be drawing flags left and right.
That is true, boy. They have really cut down, because it used to be where if you had a hard-hitting safety in the middle of the field, all the receivers knew, look, I am not going in there. Because, you know, if they're going for the ball, you know, the guy can have a clean hit, but, I mean, just basically knock him out, you know. But they're kind of stopping that, you know, where you can't really go after, well, you know, sometimes it's kind of blurry, what they allow, what they don't allow. But they're not letting guys just get loose.
Gary, do you remember a game, Eagles against the Giants, where Dawkins hit Ike Hilliard so hard that neither of them got up? They knocked each other out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the hardest hit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's insane. He definitely would come and, you know, Dawkins is the biggest guy, but he's bringing everything, man. From out of the ground, he's coming out of the ground after him. He's coming with everything, man. I mean, you know. So
yeah, I mean, there's not too many opportunities you have where, I mean, the only opportunity you have nowadays, especially being in my position, to commit that type of violence is when you're on the field.
Yeah,
that's right.
And trust me, I mean, guys like that, it's apparent that, I mean, they're going to give it their all when they're out there. I mean, they're going to try and be as violent as possible when they're on the field.
See, off the field, he was the quietest, gentlest, nicest person you'd ever want to meet.
That's right.
But in his locker, he had all these replicas of Wolverine Man.
That's right.
And then he would come out of the tunnel when they would introduce him like the Wolverine Man. He'd go into that persona.
And the crawl and everything,
into the crawl, and the crowd would go crazy.
That's
I mean, did you have any superheroes that you emulated?
Oh, man. If anything, it would be Batman.
Batman.
That's just me. But, I mean, that is insane. I love that. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't take you can be quiet off the field, but the moment you step on the field, I mean, you turn into a different person.
Now, I see you running down on the kickoffs. I mean, I see you getting into that, huh?
I mean, that's my role. That's my role. I'm owning for what it is right now.
Returning, covering the kicks and things. I mean, so what's your mentality with that? I see you just go all out, huh?
I mean, that's my opportunity to shine. That's my opportunity to be on the field. That's my opportunity to help contribute to winning games for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's what I do. I'm gonna give them everything I got until I can't.
Yeah.
And you know what? To say it simply, I mean, if I could say the F word on this show right now, I would. But
you can't.
Man, I effing love special teams, man. It is like my thing, and I really try and perfect my craft at it.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that people don't understand what goes into that phase of the game, and I really do have a true appreciation for that side of the game, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it looks like you're having a good time out there, man.
I'm having a good time, man.
All right, we'll be back with Gary and with Sidney Brown right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky Pete's. Come taste our unique flavors for fall with some delicious additions to our cocktail menu. Try a pumpkin white Russian with Stoli vanilla, or a tasty tequila apple pie with butterscotch schnapps. Or how about a fireball apple cider sangria topped with ginger beer for game day or any day? Come see us all fall long at the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs. A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Bringing in your front line is as easy as 1, 2, key. SEPTA Key Advantage is a unique and valuable transit benefit program that gives your employees all-day, everyday access to the entire SEPTA system. That means your staff can get in for their first, second, or third shifts and even travel the system on their off hours, seamlessly and affordably, all thanks to you. Learn how easy it is to customize a SEPTA Key Advantage program for your team at SEPTA.org/partner programs. That's SEPTA.org/partner programs.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Groats, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are, Chickies and Pete's in the Great Northeast. Merrill Reese, Garry Cobb, and Sidney Brown. It is time now for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689, 215-806-3689. I don't know much about the injuries because Nick doesn't tell you a whole lot. I know that Lane Johnson was out with a groin for the last game, but hopefully he is back this week against the 49ers. Zach Cunningham is out with a hamstring. Hopefully he is back. We still don't know about Dallas Goedert. They didn't put him on injured reserve. There's a chance that he'll be back against the 49ers. I think there's a greater chance that he will be back in 2 weeks against the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So that is your Pro Football Injury Report, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689, 215-806-3689. Sidney Brown is our guest, and Sidney Brown in the midst of a very successful rookie year with the Philadelphia Eagles. Sidney, you came in, and you seemed to have an aura about you, a degree of confidence. You didn't look like a rookie who was afraid or who thought, boy, this is too big for me. You fit in right away. What was it about you that gave you that kind of confidence coming in?
Again, I think it's just my ability. I trusted my skill coming in, and then again, it's football. It's football, and I think coming out of the combine and all that too, I knew what I needed to do, and they hired me to play football here, right? So it's at the end of the day, it's just ball.
Is it fun?
That's it. I love it. Absolutely. Is it fun? I mean, I love this sport.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than this.
See, and you have to have that feeling.
Yeah.
Because, Gary, I've often said that there are sports that you can play for the money
Yes.
and get through. But when you talk about football and the pain that you feel, that the hitting that you take, that the grueling hot days, although they're not the hot days, when Gary was playing football, they used to have hitting in the morning, hitting in the afternoon, and it wasn't
a lot of hitting.
And it wasn't just contact, it was tackle to the ground.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
They allowed us to hit more. See, it's been part of the collective bargaining agreement now where they say, okay, you can only hit this much. See, now it used to be where we hit in the morning, we would have a morning practice, then we'd hit in the second practice. Now you see, you guys don't really have 2 practices anymore.
No.
And really, I see where guys are able to make sure that they stay away from injuries. That's what the Eagles do a good job of.
I mean, that's the big thing now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take advantage of the collision. You can take that out of the sport just by doing walkthroughs and stuff like that. I mean, you get a lot out of that.
Yeah,
listen, tackling's a big thing. It's
That's
a big
right.
part of the sport. But again, the mental aspect is also something that takes precedence.
You know, I've talked to Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil was an Eagles coach when I first broadcast in 1977, and Dick Vermeil is one of the great coaches. He's in the Hall of Fame.
So you were born in when?
2000.
See, 2000. We're talking 1977.
Yeah, we're talking about 1977.
A little bit before me.
I've been doing this 100 years. But anyhow, so I talked to Dick Vermeil, and Dick Vermeil was old school, and he can't believe the fact that there's not a whole lot of contact during training camp. But then I reminded Dick that when he came to camp, when he brought the Eagles to camp, he came with a roster of about 120, and it became like a death march. It was 120 guys, and they would wear down after a while, and next man in. You could do that. Yeah. But today the roster is limited to 90 on the first day of camp. Right. And you better watch yourself. But again, it's a little bit different because the roster size is 53, but really Nick Sirianni will say, I really have a roster of 65 because the practice squad is used differently where guys can come up and down. That's right. Van Summerlin is coming up and down on the roster for 3 weeks.
You look at Nick Morrow.
Morrow.
Even Mekhi Gardner, he came up a few times as well. So, guys like that are elevated all the time.
That's right.
Use different. Listen, the whole business side, they shift and move guys around to make money and all that. But, again, if you make the 53-man roster and the practice squad, you got an opportunity to play no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. You do. You work with Michael Clay a lot on the special teams, and we spoke with him today during the every Tuesday the coordinators speak.
Yeah.
But he's a bright guy, and he has a passion for the game. I guess he can get you going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The guy played at Oregon. Have you guys seen his highlight tape at Oregon?
No, I haven't.
He was a baller.
Was he really?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Michael
you
Clay,
should turn it on. Turn it on.
Is that so? Okay.
No, he was a baller at Oregon. So, he's got that player's mindset behind him as well. And he really integrates that into the special teams and the stuff that we do. It's interesting. I love what he does, and I love how he is philosophically with the game.
Was he a DB at Oregon?
He's a linebacker.
A linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker.
Okay.
So we'll be sitting in the special teams meetings sometimes, and they'll put on highlight tape of everybody. And it's crazy.
Oh, you mean of the coaches?
Of the coaches. Players, everybody. It's crazy seeing what some guys did back in the day.
What is it like to play at Oregon or to, in your case, Illinois, and in your case, Gary played at Southern Cal. So you guys have played in these big games in gigantic stadiums, and then on the other end of the spectrum, you have somebody like Reed Blankenship and Kevin Byers, who played at Middle Tennessee State. There's a big difference. You go into the big house at Michigan, and you play in front of 120,000 people.
Yeah, that's right.
You only had a measly 65,000, 70,000 out there Sunday at the link. You've got to be unfazed by the feeling of an NFL stadium.
Yeah, but the feeling that you get in the link is a little different from what I got at Illinois. And I love what I had at Illinois, and I'm forever grateful for my Illini back at home. But it's just a different feeling out in the link, and the atmosphere and the passion that the fans of Philadelphia have, it's unmatched. I promise you that, and I think you can attest to that.
Oh yeah, I definitely can. Now what have been the differences in, let's say, the pro game from the college game? I mean, have there been any differences for you? Looking at the offenses, looking at the quarterbacks, with some of the the talent that you guys, because you guys have look at all of the teams you guys have faced this year. What do you see as things you're learning or things you're kind of being exposed to? I know you're seeing being in there with a lot of veteran players out there. Mm-hmm. What do you see as some of the differences from the college game?
Yeah, the first thing you notice is, the guys around you are all professional, right? So you gotta dial into that and really up your game in that way. But the thing that I noticed the most is how fast that ball comes out. And the placement that these quarterbacks can place the football on these receivers, and it's incredible. It's easy to watch on the TV and be like, yeah, man, I could have covered that. I could have done that. I could have put my hand in there. The fact that it's on the break that ball is coming out and they're putting it on the money and in places that only the receiver can get. So that's the first thing I noticed playing in the league. But then again, there's so much skill all around and so many talented guys that you just gotta. You really gotta up your game when you from college to the NFL. But again, like I said, that ball placement is ridiculous.
One of the things that Michael Clay has pointed out is that when you're talking about the return game in college, there are a lot of linebackers and linemen out there in coverage and special teams. You talk about the NFL, you've got a lot of skill position guys out there. You've got a whole bunch of people on the field covering who can run 4.4s.
And you know what? That's another thing as well. Is the how important special teams is and how much special teams can impact the game is another thing that is just kind of forgot about when you're in college. College it's important, but when you go to the NFL, every single snap matters. And every single snap matters. So you got to take advantage of everything. You got to have your best players everywhere. We got guys like Reed Blankenship playing, the L1 on kickoff.
Oh, do you know how many plays?
PP and punt. So it doesn't matter who you are and what you do. You're going to play special teams because it's important. That is a key contributor to getting the win on Sundays.
What units are you on?
I'm on all. I'm a core 4 guy.
Yeah,
core 4. I do all of them.
Yeah, I know. Kickoff return.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
Punt
return. Yeah.
I said to Michael Clay today. I asked him. I said, "Have you ever been around anybody you're as confident in with his judgment as Britton Covey? Because he's wise. He knows when to take it, when to let it bounce.
He seems like he played some baseball.
Yeah, well, he's pretty sharp.
Way he's able to get under the ball. He's looking at the coverage. And it takes his eye off the ball. To be able to have that, be that confident.
But then Michael reminded me. He said, I did coach Darren Sproles. You're talking about a great return man.
Sproles.
But you know what?
Sproles.
I used to stay up. This is the truth. I used to stay up on Saturday nights late to see Utah play because that's how much I love to watch Britton Covey return.
He was a stud.
Is that so?
He was amazing. Every week.
You had your eye on him when he was in college.
Absolutely, because he was scoring touchdowns every week as a kickoff returner, as a punt returner, and as a wide receiver.
I think his receiver tape was more impressive than his kick return tape.
Is that
honestly.
so?
Yeah, that kid, he's a guy that I think could probably walk into another team and start play. Be a key contributor to that. But he's a guy that just obsesses over his role, and he's successful at it because he puts in the work to it.
He will line up every now and then as a wide receiver. They haven't thrown to him yet, but if they get him the ball in open space, he may quickly be in the end zone.
He can make people miss.
He can make people miss.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And he's fast. That's not what we're talking about. He is fast. That guy can move. If he does get the rock, a screen, little slant, even if it's a deep ball,
amazing.
I know he's gone.
It's amazing. And I'll tell you what, he's only 170 pounds tops. He may not be that. He's listed at about 170.
He might be 170, but the way that he plays, he might be about 250, 6'5", 250. It doesn't matter.
Were you ever a return man on any level?
High school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
High school. That ended in college.
Uh-huh.
That ended in college.
Boy, I think that is the scariest job
Yeah,
in the world.
that's a job that I never was jumping in to do that job.
Well, especially with the kicks that these punters are putting up,
I
like
know.
the banana ball, and it's like golf.
Yeah.
It's like golf.
That's right.
Are you a golfer?
I golf a little bit. I'm not good enough. I'm not gonna say I'm good. I can keep my own though. I'll be honest.
You like
I can
it.
keep my. I do like it. I do like it. I enjoy the game. But again, like man, the balls that these punters and kickers are putting out.
Yeah, they do.
Even the onside kicks. It's like boom. Kick it into the ground so it can bounce 3 more times before
That's right.
you know what I mean?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Gary and Sydney right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Come enjoy some delicious additions to our fall menu. Feast on our sweet fire barbecue wings, served with our tasty chive ranch dressing. Our Thai chicken sandwich with pickled red onions and sweet lime dressing, served with a minced slaw. Or Chickies and Pete's hot honey pepperoni pizza with extra pepperoni and delicious hot honey. For game day or any day, come see us all fall at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Groats, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are, and this time now is for Penworth Financial's Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit penworth.com. All right, Sidney Brown is our guest along with Garry Cobb, and Garry Cobb has, in this area, been a wonderful broadcaster for a long time following a very successful NFL career. Now, Sidney, you may not know this, but I have already deemed you a broadcaster in about 20 years. When your NFL career is done, you have a career as a broadcaster ahead because you express yourself well, you sound great. So we're going to give you your first assignment. We're going to ask you. We're each going to take one key and present 3 keys to an Eagles win over the 49ers. So you go first.
A key to
an Eagles win over the 49ers Sunday.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, just from what I've seen already, we gotta take control of the game on defense. I mean, we gotta win the turnover margin. I think that's the biggest thing.
Okay, that's
and
a key.
Create more opportunities to get the ball back to our offense.
Okay, that's a great one. That is a great one. I'll give a key, and then I'll leave you with the third one.
Okay.
So we have one.
No problem.
Win the turnover battle, says Sidney Brown. Merrill says, stop Christian McCaffrey. He gives you fits. He doesn't look like the fastest guy in the world, but you blink and he's 12 yards downfield. Put the brakes on Christian McCaffrey. That's number 2.
Well, something that, Sidney had mentioned earlier is it's going to be special teams. I think that the special teams going to play a key role, and maybe a return here or there, would put the team in a great ball possession where, let's say, a punt return. That kind of helps the offense. I think that the special teams is going to play a key role. Maybe a turnover somewhere on special teams, so you never know. I mean, maybe Sidney could help us out there.
Never know.
Oh, man, I'll do what I can.
Hey, a good hit, put that ball on the ground, boy. That's a sweet thing, boy.
But Sidney, you've seen some time at the safety position this season.
Yeah, here and there. Honestly, right now I'm subbing in at nickel here and there when need fit, but really like that third down guy in third and long situations. Yeah.
How difficult is it? Is it a lot more complex than what you had to look at in college?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, at this point in my career, I played. Coming in, it was I had a little struggle understanding the defense and understanding all that, but with being 4 or 5 months into it, you really understand that. I mean, every position you played every position. You played your seam flats. You've played your hook curls, all that. I mean, you've played these positions all the way through college, all the way through high school up to now. So it's just simplifying that. So is it complicated? Somewhat within the scheme with what we're running with the checks when the offense does this and that because it's all reaction. But you've done it before, so it's not as complicated as it may seem.
Are you able to read quickly and then just react?
Read and react and just pull the trigger.
Read and react and pull the trigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got a little look at at the Niners. What do you see with them offensively? I mean, what goes through your mind with the team? I know you mentioned McCaffrey at what they bring. I mean, that Niner team offensively. What do you see? What it stands out to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's a confident team right now with what they've done. Obviously really good, efficient offense that can move the ball up and down the field. And again, they remind me of Miami in a little bit with the way that they throw. They throw to spots is what I've seen on tape, and it's efficient. It gets them down the field, but then again, like they can obviously take the top off you with their receivers and their tight end, and then again they got the run game with the McCaffrey. But yeah, I mean, you just got a confident team playing good football. But really, at the end of the day, it's all about us and what we do and how we manage that game.
Well, they have a couple of targets. Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And George Kittle.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many tight ends who are as good as George Kittle. I think he's right there with Travis Kelce, Dallas Goedert, and Mark Andrews, who Buffalo unfortunately lost.
Yeah.
But you're talking about elite tight ends, and Kittle is one of them.
No, absolutely. I mean, you guys a dog in the run game. You can block and do all of that. But then again, with the extension to go and catch the ball up in open field and make you miss. So, I mean, you don't find too many guys like that. I mean, obviously we got a few on our team, but you don't find too many guys that have the willingness to go and put their nose in the dirt and then go and catch the ball and look like a receiver in the back end.
You look at their defense, and it's hard to believe that Washington gave them Chase Young to already add to Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and everything. Did you play against, well, not because you were defense, but did Illinois play against Ohio State when they had Chase Young?
No. So the year that we were supposed to play him, our game got canceled because of COVID.
Oh.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'll be honest. We probably should. We were not ready for that game. As much as we wanted to play, we were not ready for that game. Yeah.
They definitely. I mean, you look at San Francisco with that front they got where they get after the quarterback. You guys have a tremendous front four and stuff. How does it feel playing with those guys? I mean, you got those guys coming off the corner. I mean, with Sweat and Reddick coming off the corner, and the big boys in the middle. You got to feel good standing behind those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it makes our job a lot easier. I mean, rushing coverage goes hand in hand, and when you got multiple dogs up front, it just makes it that much easier in coverage because that ball's going to come out quick, and that's how they're going to scheme up the game is to make sure that they disrupt those guys up front so that they can open up some. Again, it's all about defending the second play because if they don't get to the quarterback within the 2-second time, it's all. You saw what Josh Allen did last week.
That's right.
Trying to throw it downfield and scrambling out of the pocket because that's the only way you can because they're going to get there.
I can't believe we've done a show for 55 minutes out of an hour and we haven't mentioned Jalen Hurts. I want to hear. I want to hear Sidney Brown describe Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for that man right there. He remains ice cold a lot of the time. I know you saw the videos of it last night in the game.
I described it.
Yeah,
I lived through it.
Ice cold, and just the confidence that he has in himself and the people around him to get the job done. It's just there's no one I know that has more. I mean, that man breathes confidence. So,
yeah.
He's a great leader too, day in and day out, and he does things the right way. So I mean, it all comes down to doing that, and again, just the work ethic behind all that with the mindset, and it just contributes to the success that he's had.
Okay, quick 2-minute drill. All right, we're going to pick a game, forget scores, just a winner or loser. Seattle or Dallas? Gary?
Dallas.
Sydney?
Seattle.
Oh, okay. Let's hope you're right. Miami and Washington? Gary?
Miami.
Sydney? Miami. Detroit and New Orleans?
Detroit.
Yeah, I go with Detroit.
3 for Detroit. Cleveland at the Rams. Gary.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I think Cleveland. They got to have that.
I'm taking the Rams.
Okay.
Kansas City at Green Bay.
KC.
That's a Thursday night game. Oh, no, it's a Sunday. Is that Thursday night? No, it's Sunday night.
Okay.
Dallas, Seattle's Thursday night. Indianapolis at Tennessee.
Boy, ugly. We'll go with Indy. I mean,
all right.
That's crazy. Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay, Atlanta at the Jets. Do we all go with Atlanta? I don't.
Yeah, we'll go with it. I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Sydney?
We'll say the Jets.
You're going with the Jets.
Okay.
And Carolina at Tampa Bay.
Woo, poor Carolina.
TB.
CB. Yeah, I'll go with Tampa Bay.
TB. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Sydney, we want to thank you for coming here tonight. It's been great having you on the air. You're a terrific guy. You're a terrific player. You have a bright future ahead of you, and I really thank you again for joining us here at Chickies and Pete's. And Gary, it's always a pleasure to share the microphone with you.
My pleasure.
Chris Ermer, we thank you for producing the show, and thanks to our executive producer, George Forster. So for all of us, have a great night. We'll see you Sunday at 4:25 when the Eagles meet the San Francisco 49ers. From all of us, have a great night.
Go Birds.
You've been listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, as well as 107.3 FM, and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.